Now, millions of Americans are heading to the polling stations to decide the future of the nation. Let's listen into what the experts have to say about these very polarizing elections.
Is of great significance for the entire world. As you know, the United States is the most powerful nation in the world. Its military presence, as you mentioned, is expanding in West Asia. Obviously, there's also a conflict in Ukraine. There's concern over rising Chinese power and China's potential designs on Taiwan. And so the United States carries great significance in all of these conflicts, existing and potential. And so there's great concern over how this election will turn out. And of course, there's also the concern that the United States will be destabilized by this election, particularly from Trump and his camp. And so there's also concern over that as well. That would have great implications for these geopolitical considerations and also for global financial markets.
Well, I think the Senate races might be even closer than the presidential race. Democrats are defending a lot of seats, and that gives Republicans a lot more opportunity to take the Senate than Democrats. They're just, even if they win all of their races, they're basically just maintaining the status quo. So the Republicans really have the upper hand here. But we are seeing, they're running in states in Ohio. Sherrod Brown has been around forever. Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin has been in office forever. There's a lot of trust there with Democrats. And I think that some of the base and new voters will just vote with those recognizable names. We may not take those Senate seats, even if Trump wins those states for the presidency. So I think we'll see some interesting split ticket voting in some of those Rust Belt states.
Talk too much enough about how important Pennsylvania is. I mean, right now I'm in a hotel room in Philadelphia. It's critically important for both campaigns, and that's why you saw Vice President Harris spend her day yesterday going around the state communicating with voters about what they care about and what their needs are. She spent yesterday in Allentown, in Scranton, in Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia, delivering that message of affordable housing, healthcare for seniors, having Medicare cover their in-home coverage, having the autonomy over your own body, talking about the economy and what her plans are, because these electoral votes of Pennsylvania are crucial. And it's an important state up and down the ballot. It's got a Senate race. It has multiple House seats that can have an effect on who controls the U.S. House of Representatives. So it's an incredibly important state, and I think eyes are going to be on it all night long, because Pennsylvania, like Wisconsin, has not passed any legislation in their state legislatures that allow them to start counting ballots early. So we're going to be watching it into the wee hours of the night to see if we can get a grasp on who's winning.
I think he can end the war, given that he has huge leverage in both ways, because with the Ukrainians, the war has effectively already been lost. It doesn't really matter how much weapons they send now. The key problem is manpower. So they can withdraw a lot of weapons to Ukraine if they do not accept his peace deal or his terms, that is Trump's term. On the Russian side, it depends, because for them, they have some very strict demands. First of all, they don't want any more NATO expansion. Given that Trump has in the past shown very little enthusiasm for NATO, and also hinted that...
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.